Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today we're going to be doing a mini review of the new Cromwell Snakebite that launched alongside the new World of Tanks rollout comic book. And basically the Snakebite is the main tank of the story, and it is crewed by this gentleman. Oh, sorry about that. There we are, Sergeant Lynette, Simon Lynette, or Lynette, I don't know quite how it's pronounced. And you get him with it, and you also get an exclusive skill, which is the Snakebite skill, which improves dispersion by 5%, I think it is. And there you go. It is a absolutely gorgeous tank, in my opinion. The detailing with the camouflage nets and on the barrel as well is absolutely stunning, and I love the look of this thing. Now, it is a light tank, mostly just in name. It is very, very fast, faster than normal Cromwell at 80 kilometers an hour instead of 64, and it has a power to weight ratio of 30.51, I think it is, which is very, very fast. Its hull and turret traverse are both 52 degrees, which is fantastic. It's even faster than the Knight, and the Knight is a fast maneuverable tank, and but that does come at a slight cost of your armour. Basically, you lose 22mm off the front, 2mm off the side of the hull, nothing off the rear, and the turret 25mm off the front, 13mm off the side, and 6 off the rear, which leaves you with 42 all round. Well, sorry, 42 front and side on the hull, 32 on the rear, 51 all around the turret. But you do get a massive increase in speed. The gun is also different. It's the second from top gun on the standard Cromwell. So it's 20 rounds a minute rate of fire, good aiming time at 1.89, not particularly accurate at 0.4. Penetration and damage are a little underwhelming at 91 and 110 respectively, and the premium penetration, even though it's 144, which is only one less, I think it is, or it might be the same as the standard ammunition on the top gun on the standard Cromwell, does feel a little underwhelming. I mean, you see up to tier 8s in this, and sometimes it can be a bit of a problem. But I don't know, hopefully they might give it a little buff, maybe give it 110 pen on the standard, maybe 154, 164 on the premium, something like that. We can always hope. I don't think it'll happen anyway. Like I say, light tank in mostly just name. It has the speed and manoeuvrability of a light tank, but it unfortunately doesn't seem to keep its camouflage bonus on the move or when firing like a light tank does. So yeah, it kind of works as a scout, but you do have to be careful. I've gone for the camo net, I've gone for coated optics to improve my view range on the move, because you just keep moving in this, unless you know that nothing is actually trying to kill you at that moment in time. And I've gone for a gun rammer, just to increase that rate of fire. Now, like I say, this is a bit of a mini review. I'll do a more detailed review hopefully at some point with some better gameplay. I've got a little bit of gameplay for you next. I'm not an expert in this. I do like it and I have some real fun in it, but you'll see what I mean about the underwhelming penetration. I think I come up against a hammer and I'm within about 20 meters and I'm bouncing off the side of it. So yeah, one in sort of, I'd say 50-50 at the side of a hammer, which is a little bit underwhelming, but it is very, very fast. If you like your Cromwells or your fast lightly armoured mediums or even your light tanks and you're more of an active scout, I would definitely recommend this tank. Anyway, let's have a look at the gameplay and then you'll be able to make up your minds. So here we are, we're on Ghost Town, a standard battle, and it's a tier 7 matchup. Now, I did mention in the garage that this is more or less a light tank in name only, and that it doesn't keep its camo bonus on the move. The other thing I'm not entirely sure about is its matchmaking. It does see up to tier 8, which obviously if it was a standard scout tank matchmaking at tier 6 it would see up to tier 9. But I do not know if this can get into a tier 6 match. I haven't done yet. I don't know if anybody out there has, but if they have, let me know in the comments, because I'd be interested to find out. Now, one of the things that people have been saying about this with the Snakebite perk that gives you the plus 5% to your dispersion, that it's pay to win. I'm not of that opinion. I don't think it's pay to win. To be honest, I've not really noticed any difference with this perk. I still miss a hell of a lot of shots that go wide of the mark, and it's not because I'm not aiming at the tank. You know, I am aiming at it, they just keep going wide, so I've not really noticed any difference. Like this snakebite, not one goes where I actually aim it, and he hits me twice, I think. Or was it once and then the Hummel? I'm not entirely sure. So, not a good place for me to be in. Like I say though, I have had some quite effective scouting games in this, where I've been bottom tier and I've, you know, done quite a bit of scouting, and yeah, it's been quite good. Got a 2,500 or maybe a 3,000 XP assisted damage, so you can use this as a scout, and quite an effective active one. Because of its speed and manoeuvrability, you can sort of get in and out quite quickly. And I just think, do you know what, bugger it, I'm going to go and have some fun. And that's essentially what I do in this match. And like I say, I don't claim to be the best player in this game. Far from it. I think I'm probably just above average myself personally. But I'm just going to have some fun, so I do a little drive-by on those two tanks and just look at the rate of fire. I think, was that an IS or something? I wasn't even paying attention, but I destroyed the 5916, well, ninjaed the 5916 is more accurate, and come straight back around the block again for another run at him, and I think it bounces again and I take a hit in return. But at this point I'm not bothered, I'm just in it to have some fun. So, go round for a third time? No. I'm going to swing it off to the left, and I'm going to see if I can spot any of these guys around here. I had seen a medium tank round this way, so let's drive by on him. One, I think, damaged his tracks, and I derp it into the building, hit him, set him on fire, hit him again and set him on fire, and he burns to death. Now, that is also something that people have been mentioning a lot on the forums, and I have noticed myself. Module damage seems to have been increased. There is no confirmation from Wargaming on this, and I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but over the last week or so I have noticed a hell of a lot more module damage than before, both dishing out and receiving. Bounce off the target, and I'm bouncing off the side of that Tiger P. In fact, I'm not even sure that was hitting. There's the enemy snakebite skulking around behind that ridge. Well, that's sand dune, should I say. But I'm not going to go after him. I'll let those guys deal with him. I've seen an opening and an opportunity, and this is where I betray my light tanking. I've seen a break in the defences. There's an RT in play. So I'm going to work my way through that break and go RT hunting. Let's see if we can give ourselves a bit more of an advantage. Because us having one RT and them having none is, well, it's hopefully our RT is on the ball and it gives us a big advantage. It means that our guys don't have to worry about shells coming down on top of them. Oh, but he's not on his own. There's a hammer down here, and this is where you'll see, I was saying in the garage, I mean, I am really close to this hammer. I do take a bit of a wide turn here, to be honest, and I'm glad that that building is destructible. But as you can see, it's penetrating the rear of his tank, but the side, it's bouncing off, and I must admit I've not got very good trigger discipline at this point, and then I pull myself together and actually start waiting until I'm round the rear and I'm more level, sort of parallel with his side, and I've got the better chance of penetrating from reducing the angle. Artie takes a shot at me there, and I was lucky that that didn't hit. There's the little bugger. One in him to finish him off. Fair play to him though, he was going down fighting. He wasn't trying to head for the nearest body of water or cliff. So credit where credit's due. He went down like a like a man. Anyway, there's a panther over here, and I decided to engage this panther and give him a bit of circling, because I know they're not exactly quick on the turn. However, there was a hammer that had me zeroed in, it gave me a big hit, so as a break to disengage, I basically go the wrong way. So that was my own mistake. I got overconfident, went for the panther, the hammer had me zeroed in and put a shot into me, and if the hammer hadn't have been there, I would have been able to outmaneuver that panther quite easily, because they don't have a very good turn rate on the hull or the turret. But anyway, I think we'll skip to the end there. So there we go. Quite a fun round, even if I do say so myself. Not particularly skillful tanking on my part, sorry. But it was damn good fun, and not a bad round all in all. Got a first class mastery out of it, 58,000 credits, although I did get extra for a couple of ops. Didn't come very high up on the board, although I was in the top 5, although, well, it's not too bad, not too savage I don't suppose, although I think I've only played a few games in this, I think 12 all in all so far. But yeah, there you go. It is very fast, very manoeuvrable, although the gun is a little bit underwhelming to say the least. But you are fast enough to flank and get them in the side and rear, so it's not too savage. Right, next one for you. I was taking this one a bit more seriously, and I think I do a little better in this one. I can't quite remember. Well, we'll find out together, won't we? Be a nice surprise for me as well. Anyway, another tier 7 match on Redshare and another standard battle. Like I say, I'm not sure if this can get into tier 6 games. I haven't done yet. So if any of you guys have got the Snakebite, let me know. Or if you get the Snakebite after this review and you do get into a tier 6 match, drop me a comment down below. I would be interested to find out. I think I just have really bad luck with matchmaking. I was trying to find out the other day whether tier 8 lights actually could get into a tier 8 game, because I've seen 2 in 2 tier 8 games in the last week, and I have never once gone into a tier 8 game, and I didn't think they could. I thought they got matched up as though it was a tier 9 medium, and therefore would only get into tier 9 and 10 matches, but I've probably got that wrong as well. Anyway, try and put a shot in at that snakebite over there, but it was way off. Badly aimed and not fully aimed either, and it just went miles out of the way. So I'm going to potter about on this ridge for a minute or two. You know, I'm fast, I'm nimble, but I'm very lightly armoured. Well, not particularly lightly armoured, actually, compared to a lot of the light tanks, and you've got more speed and manoeuvrability than a lot of the light tanks, so really, it's got a lot going for it in that department. But having said that, I'm not going to go over here on my own, where all the heavies normally come, but that guy had come across, not spotted anything, so I felt a little bit braver. Oh, there's another enemy snakebite. I get 2 into him while I'm reversing. I am using auto aim there, just while I'm trying to get myself into cover. And now he's pulling back. So I'll go over the ridge to try and get a shot at him, but yeah, a little bit late on the trigger there. But like I said in the review, if you're a fan of the normal Cromwell or the Cromwell Knight, or if you're a light tank driver, I would recommend this. It is really good fun. Really good fun tank. Right. That's him taken care of. Ooh, there's a couple of... well, there's a hammer over there, I think. There's another one, is there, possibly? Or am I getting ahead of myself? Anyway, try and aim for the weak spot on the hammer, because from the front, that's where I've got the most chance of penetrating it. Like I say, 91 average penetration at 100 metres, and the frontal armour of a hammer is 100 millimetres. So you don't have much chance to get through these standard rounds. You've got to go for the side or the rear, and you've got to be close. But I'm not hanging around there to trade shots with heavy tanks. I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to pull back. I'm going to take a look at the map and see where I can be more effective. And the reason I pulled back quite so far is so that I can approach things like that Easy 8 without being seen. If I'd have cut straight across, I'd have been seen by everything, so I'll pull it right back, have a look at the map while I'm doing so, and see where I can actually take some effect and do some use. Not against this T-34, apparently. Excuse me, who I just cannot hit. And there's the last snakebite in the enemy team. But I think he's, yeah, the other side of that hill. I'm not going to get them. I had a bit of a brain fart, actually. I think it was around there, or in a minute, when I was trying to figure out which side of the hill they were on. And I seem to have forgotten how to read a map. But it all comes back to me, don't worry. The shit that flowed in flowed back out, and my brain was clear again. Right, T-34 is sneaking down that river. Now where's he gone? There he is. Just coming through the bridge. Not today, sunshine. And that is one of the things that this tank excels at, is in a match like this where you're sort of mid-tier or even bottom tier, something like that, you hang around. Well, if you're not scouting up at the front, you can do a bit if you're careful. Like I say, you don't keep your camera rating on the move, but you can stick around on the second sort of line, if you see what I mean, not the front line but further back, not so much plugging gaps but zipping about, finishing off tanks and generally being a menace and a nuisance. Like I am here, I'm going to sneak up on this hammer. I'm not in danger from anything, and I've come quite far around the map in a very short period of time. And at the minute, while he's paying me no attention, I'm just going to sit putting shots into his backside. I don't get the kill though, but I'm not bothered because I've farmed a little bit of damage from him. Big fat hammer ass. Now, and if he had decided to turn around and pay a bit of attention to me, I doubt it because he was quite engaged in trying not to die. Then I could have just got out of there very quickly. So I'm going to pull up onto this ridge where I've got some cover, and I think I've got the rear of that target, and somebody else finishes him off. But again, got a couple of shots in, not too bad. And that's it, that's the game. Well, I hope you've hopefully been able to make up your mind anyway. Like I say, I'm not the best player in it, but I've shown you some of its strengths and its weaknesses. And I think probably its only weakness is its slight lack of armour and the gun being a little underwhelming, but I did come second in that match, that's not too bad. But I find this tank just so much fun. It is a very fun tank to drive, and I'm just looking forward to having some really good fun games in this. And I have seen some awesome hammer games on the forum with some really high scores. Hammer games, sorry, I'm reading that on the team list. Snakebite games. But like I've said before, and I'll say it again, if you're a fan of light tanks or the Cromwell, give it a go. It is really good. I think at the minute it's about 5,800 with equipment and 7 days of premium and all that good stuff. Anyway, take care out there and I'll catch you next time.